I'm Marshall, and I'm the old bloke in the shed. One of many, I would think. I've got a video coming up after this for you, and I hope you enjoy it. Hello there. I've got an alternator I bought. To swap out for the dynamo and the Major here. It's for Ford and Austin cars. I think we should be able to make it work. Right, let me get this off first. Got myself a seat here, making my life easier. That dampness that's coming from that bit in the cylinder head that's welded. Not very well, it's mild steel and cast, so it's not very good. We may need to make up a bracket of some kind. Let's see. Washer's giving me a hard time. I don't think it was the best of cylinder heads, that second-hand head I bought, but it works. You can always top up the coolant. So, a bit. I think I better take the wires off, I suppose. You can reuse the wires. Oh, let's hope it's one of these. Should be, really. It's not. Let's select that one, let's try that. Imperial with imperial bolts, but not imperial sizes. There it is. It's 5/16. That's that one. I think this dynamo actually works. It was the voltage regulator that was the problem. But the alternator was the same price as a new voltage regulator, so I thought I'd just do it, upgrade it. Hopefully we'll get lights and that in the future. These two wires should run all the way to the ignition switch, whereas we'll need to take power from. Right, that's that one. We had that storm Irwin come through last night. The power was off for about 15 minutes. And it came back on again. Me and my son just got here ready to get the generator going, and the power came back on. that one. Right, just yeah, they're pretty goose those wires anyway there, so I'll do something with them. Right, take them 2 bolts out. What can we do with that one? Do that one first. There's a long bolt through here, and then it's onto this bracket with a pin. So I was thinking we'd probably have to make a spacer or something for the alternator. And it's turning. This cowl's in my road. You wonder who came up with all these words like cowl, and probably the Romans and the Greeks. Although I don't think they would have had starter motor. I'm just checking the GoPro light's still flashing. Did say 97% battery, so should be alright for a while. Oh, dropped the nut, I see it. Don't tell me. Can't get my spanner out past the... Okay, that's that one loose. We can probably just take that one, I think. Yep. Leave the bracket for the moment. Fell down as well. Right. Get the bolt to come out. So, surprisingly heavy that. That bracket can come off and be modified. Just depend where the fan belt's going to sit. Right, I shall get the alternator just beside me. Okay, who's taking bets that it fits straight away? In case you're going to lose. Right, I think that's going to work. It's this back one that's not going to work. So if we shove that in there. Don't drop the blooming thing. Right, that's that one. Top one. See how our alignment is. It's very good, to tell you the truth. Right, the bolt's hitting that tap. Take the bush out, I think we'll clear it. Oh, might not need it. Yeah. They've got a bushing here, so I should be able to knock it through. And take it off again. Do it that way. Yeah, this bushing, if I knock it through, it should be okay. Okay, time to fight with the bolt again. I think we should just clear it now and we'll make up a new bracket that's nearer for it. Hopefully. Well, that was a lot easier than last time. May have to alter this cowl a bit. Let's see. What do we like for? Right, that needs to come back to me. Like that. Yeah, I've got the same problem, it's hitting this drain point. I'll switch you off there just now and I'll go and figure this out. I have made a bracket, round 2, it's bigger than the last one. I made the last one too intricate. I have enough material that I can take it out and drill holes in elsewhere if we need to. That is working. Right, that should allow us to... I drilled through the old bracket and had it clamped, and it's still just a little bit out. Guess how far that went. Oh no, that's it coming through the hole. That's the original hole. Just put a bolt in it. Okay, I've got a problem. It's too long. First one was too small. This one's too big. Just have to sack myself. Not going to get this finished today. Right, that's the bracket customised. Putting things in loose, because probably have to do a bit of trial and error to get everything to work. Right, not too bothered about that one at the moment. Looking not bad, but the I think I might have to do a bit of bending on that bush I pushed the other way earlier. I'll have to put it back the other way where it was. Probably getting in the way at the moment. think I dropped it. Of course it's going to be tight. Right, if I tighten that one, it should be straight. These ratchet spanners, one of the problems with them is they slip through, and then because they've got a flexible joint, they're really difficult to get them to come out again. I've got it on a flat surface so it can't slip through. Oh me, I'm not doing well here, I've gone the wrong way. I don't know. Sometimes I think my brains are not in the place they should be. This nut does not want to go on this bolt. And I have another nut which I'll probably drop. See if our fan belt's going to work okay. I think we've got it not bad for. I thought I twisted that way a wee bit, but I think we can do that. Still to make a back bracket for it. Do that tomorrow. Then wire it up and hope it works. Plays quite good. And then we can make some kind of new bracket for the back here. Summing off these two bolts, same as the original. Okay, that's it for today. I have got the alternator on with the two front bolts. I've still got to weld on my spacer, but I can do that after. So we'll need to make something to come from the original position. And I think we're going to have to make a heat shield as well, because we're pretty close to the exhaust there. When you think the old one sat down here somewhere. Unless we can move it down. To do that, to mess about with that bracket. I think I'm just going to make a heat shield, get a bit of aluminium or something. Anywho, we need to make this bracket, which you probably can't see. So the original bracket comes along at about that height, and this one's down here. I'll have to have a think of what I'm doing there. I'm thinking if I'm going to move that down or not. I have been busy. That, you know, the top bracket and alternators, I put an S in it to move it back a bit, and I'd had a couple of washers to get it to run straight, so I'll make a spacer the right size for that yet. I've been doing this bit. Can you see it? The only thing is the throttle's coming down on it, but I'm not sure if it's at minimum throttle. What I can do is bore a little hole just to let it in a bit. It's not far off it. But I wondered, no, it's not going to fit. I wondered if we could reuse the old bracket, but nope. Okay, we'll have to come up with something else. What we could do is make a longer bit and drill it so it goes over the spacer there, and thread it for 8mm. That wouldn't be very difficult to do. And then we can weld it onto this bit here, and we can also drill a hole here between there and there. Let's get an idea what it is. Just in case that has to go down a little bit. That's about a 25mm. Just seems to sit nicely in there. It'll be easy enough to weld it onto that back bracket. Don't know if you can see that or not. I've got this barrel made up. I just need to weld it, the back bit to the front bit. I'll weld it in place, or tack it in place and then weld it elsewhere. But I've got the alignment quite good that way. I'm going to make another proper sized spacer for there, and we can weld it as well. It'll be easier when you're taking things apart rather than, I suppose you can leave it as a spacer, not make that much difference. But I've got the size now, so that top fixing got bent into an offset. That's moved out. It's like 50mm, I think it is, 47mm, something like that. And then I've used this 30mm instead of that bracket. That would get, the original dynamo would have come to there. And when I've got it off, I'll bore a hole in the top there to let that throttle down, and it might be okay actually, but I'll just bore it just in case. And that should be us. You just need to wire it up. That shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. I've got terminals coming tomorrow, so. I have got the alternator where I think it should go. It's taken many tries and much annoyance on my part. I think the casting on it slightly squint because when it's bolted to where the dynamo was, it sits at an angle. So I've had to mess about with stuff to try and get it true. Or true enough. And just a way to weld the brackets together where I think they should be. So a bit of welding here. Can get in. Yeah.
Warning: flashing bright lights from welding. People with photosensitivity to light may be affected.
Advertencia de luces brillantes intermitentes de soldadura. Personas con fotosensibilidad a la luz puede verse afectada.
Aviso de luzes brilhantes de soldagem. Pessoas com fotossensibilidade à luz pode ser afetada.
Right, I think that'll hold it in place for the moment. I never think MIG welding's as good as arc welding. Right, we'll get the front one. I'll have to reposition everything. Get this up. Let's see if I can get this stacked. A bit of lead falls out. Also bored another hole under that throttle. It doesn't actually need it, but I just did it because I could. Right, we'll let that cool down. I can take the brackets off and weld them up a bit nicer. And then we can do the wiring. Okay, let's remove the alternator. I also I put washers in, so it moved it that way a bit, and then if we need to we can take the washers out and move it back a bit if we need to. I've welded up the brackets and ground them up and given them a coat of etch primer, so I'm hoping this is the last time I'll have to fit this thing. There's always hope, isn't there? Makes it a bit easier having things welded in place and all. But hold on, actually, yeah, I've taken the washers out. I think that'll work okay. No. It turned out without the washers it was the exact same size as the original bracket, so you could move the original bracket and drill some new holes if that was easier for you. Do that bolt a bit. See a bit closer. I just put the nut in as a spacer, really. Not the warmest today. I think I might need my heater on shortly. The fan belt's not the best. I've ordered a new one by size rather than one for this tractor. Because I found the size on that belt that's on, so let's get one the same. This nut goes on one way but not the other, if I remember right. Pretty good alignment. I think I had too much with the washers in, so yeah. About half an inch of play, so that's fine. Is that tight? Now then, I believe that's the alternator fitted permanently. Good and tight. About half-inch play in the belt, which is about right. You don't want it too tight or it can damage the bearings in the water pump. So the next job is the wiring. I'll go and have a think about it, what I'm going to use. I might just show you after I've done it, because I'm going to be in and out and round about all the place. I'll do an explanation about the terminals I've found out. Red and blue to me is live and neutral, but it's not. It's a size. And it's the size of wire it can take. Yellow's the biggest, so you can get 6mm yellow. That'll take up to, I think it's a 6mm wire. I've got a couple of charts I'll put up, let you see. And it's also got the AWG for the size. The bigger the number, the smaller the wire, I think. Anyway, that's all I'm doing today. This is just a quick sketch to see if we can explain to you how you wire up this style of alternator. There are one-wire alternators that if you go over to the man from the Mist, he's got a good explanation on his David Brown using a single wire alternator. This is the alternator I bought, and I'll do the wiring for it. You take a positive from the battery through the ignition switch, and then you go in and out of your light, and the out from your light goes to the alternator. Smaller wire will probably be a 6.3mm. And that is to excite the coils. There are two 9mm terminals on this as well, so you take a lead from either one of them, either to the starter motor live coming from the battery, or back to the ignition switch live side, as long as you get it where it's going to charge the battery. I was thinking about putting power steering on this thing, just making power steering for it. I'll come into a few problems. The kit you buy, which is £300, is a double pulley. You run the hydraulic pump off it. Various bits and pieces get changed to suit it. But I've been thinking about it. I wonder if we could just make one out of what I've got. I've got the little ram that's in the press. There's a two-way ram, and I've got a bigger ram I can put in there. So the one thing I really don't have is the orbital steering valve. This is the valve that lets you turn a bit, stop, turn a bit, stop. You can't use a spool valve because it can't do that. The range anywhere from £120 to £500. Could use a second-hand David Brown steering column and orbital steering valve. There are some on eBay for sale, but £120.